Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for sitting with me with your undivided attention. And in this class, I want to talk to you about the polarity of the feminine. Let's start by defining that the feminine is an expression or a branch or a creativity of life, the life force, the divine force, the Shakti force. And Shakti, as the life force, divine force, is about movement. And that movement is based in polarity. It means that two opposite forces, the positive charge and the negative charge of every single proton, is producing movement. That interaction of opposites manifested in our reality and male, female, day and night, up and down, in and out, all that different charges are producing movement. And because of this polarity, that movement intrinsically holds the two polarities. One polarity is about receptivity, the negative aspect that we call the feminine, that we call the earth, right? The earth is the receptor. Same way with our feminine body is the receptor of different kinds of frequencies that are needed in order to create and to conglomerate and to dance and to produce different stages of form and expression. On the other hand, there is the positive charge that is more interested in depositing energy into the negative charge to animate that. Right, so it have a certain force, it have certain sense of implications with the negative charge. So with that, life is able to create and to move. And it moves fractally, as we have studied before. It means that it reproduces itself eternally. You enter into one emotion and that emotion start to be generated and expanded and taking different forms, right? Like the fear can take a form of worry, can take a form of feeling stuck and so on. So every single expression of life is fractal. It moves and it moves and it creates eternally, right? That's why when you are in the womb, the first moment of conception, when the positive and negative charge happens, the egg and the sperm, it's a big explosion. It has been recorded in the lab, how in that specific moment, it's incredible explosion of light and resonance and so on. It's incredible attraction between these two polarities. And the other one is movement, as I say, is life like to move and use the polarity in order to move. So in that diversity and in that movement, there is implicitly the two forces. In the level of the emotional body, at the level of the mind, at the level of our physical body, especially the feminine form, it has a very particular expression. And it's something that the feminine struggle a bit in relationships. Because within that feminine, you have the force, the courage, you have the desire to control in a good way your environment and protect your offsprings either offsprings in the form of child or offsprings in the form of project or your home, or there is certain assertion, a certain power there that when it's taken, we have to observe it. And this is the aim of this lesson, because either you are scared of that power and then you retreat yourself, you are in the background, you're all nice, you're very feminine, sweet, beautiful, pleasant, but you avoid conflict. You don't want to accelerate growth. You don't want to be seen as the one that rocks the life, right? So that's one position of the family. Say, no, I cannot. I have to keep the peace. I need to be the peacemaker between my husband and my kids and my boss and my everybody. But that is denial of the feminine power. It's not a masculine force. It's within the feminine. It's a very distinctive force. It looks like it's the masculine, the action, the doer, and so on. But this is a very nourishing power. This is what that it says. If you continue it, just eating sugar, let's say, or if you continue thinking this particular destructive way, you are against life. And then that mother within you immediately will say, no, I want that you don't eat sugar and that you have a much more healthy lifestyle and so on. Are you relating to that when you put that in your kids, when you put that in your parents, when you put that in your husband? Well, that is the feminine power. It's not the masculine charge. It's very different. This is within your alchemy, within your womb. So you, in the moment you take that power, you have that ability to take care through challenges, challenging what is against life. This is very important because within yourself, if you are, let's say, eating too much sweets or doing things that are destructive, that you know is not good for you, this innate power of the feminine is the one that say to you, hey, you are abusing, you are going to be sick, this is not good for you. It assesses the maintenance of life, and it protects the force of life. Of course, we apply that perhaps too much in ourselves, I observe, where you want to, instead of nourishing, you want to control the body. At the level of the body is you think that you need to look in a certain way, that you have to be attractive, slim, and respond to social standards, not respecting, for example, the creation of the belly. I am getting into my 70s now, and naturally the body have a little belly that is the reserves for old age. It's the fats and so on. It's a reserve. So you naturally have a little belly. But no, the association with social standards say, no, you have to be flat and still look like you're 20. So that is really against or abusing the feminine power, the assertion of power. The other one that is abusing is when you overextend it. You want control of everything and you think, if I don't do it, nobody is capable of doing it. I am the only one who can't cook, who can do this job, who can't arrange my house or anything. If you are making that sense of omnipresence you are abusing the feminine power because you're taking more territory without the vision that there are others that also are feminine power, and they do need the territory. So the woman territory, we often speak about, yes, the masculine likes the territory, maintain territory, give territory, fight for territory, declare territory, and so on. But the feminine also have that. It's not necessarily at the concrete aspect, but is in that abuse of I need to control absolutely everything, because in the name of nourishment or preservation, I am the only one who can do that. So at the end, that abuse of that power, what it does is that debilitates the other side of the polarity of the feminine, and is the one that is receptive, that receive the love, the care, the nourishment from his own effort, from his own life. It observes the opportunities and allows it to receive it. In that way, the balance of the polarities of the feminine need to be absolutely exercised, because we think that, oh no, I am fighting with the masculine force, that is action, that is assertion, that is that. Yeah, but it's quite different. The masculine looks more for certain destruction, for certain renovation, while the power of the feminine is about preservation of the life, nourishment of the life through boundaries, through limits, through protecting. And they are like soldiers. These forces like soldiers, and say, no, you don't go against life. It could be against your own physical organism, could be about nature, it could be about your family, it could be any project you have. You feel protected about that. You're getting me about that feminine power and the difference with the masculine assertion. It is different because it's created in the alchemy center, that power. It's difficult because we need, as a female, to balance these two, the receptive and the protective. The nourisher, which is not only go to the spa and have that, but nourishing your authenticity by receiving and accepting the challenges that are designed by you to evolve. Life is giving right now new codes, new information. Astrologically, we have visited by comets and all this incredible golden dust in our solar system that is we are protecting life. We are protecting your evolution. We are giving you new ways of thinking and regeneration in the body, for you to see life from a different perspective. But if this opposite, if this polarity of the feminine is not in balance, you will feel either absolutely burnt out by your own exertion of power, or you will feel not being seen, not being nourished. You will feel that you are not belonging. This polarity of the feminine, when is in distortion, it creates the victim and it creates the tyrant at the level of your alchemy, at the level of your creation. So your external world, it becomes your slave, or you get enslaved by your external world. You feel lower or smaller than your life. And life naturally is just growing externally in an exponential fractal movement that can suck out your pure consciousness. So, as a lesson, I guess, as a homework, I will put, first, take note of how do you deal with conflict? Do you step back? Do you delay? Do you avoid? Do you rationalize it? You make strategies? Or you just simply say that conflict, if it's arising, is two polarity, saying something is not wrong, something need to grow, and it's about my preservation as a personality, my preservation as a feminine, my preservation as my creativity, anything regarding your alchemy. Where is your conflict and how you deal with it? Do you explode and wait and explode? Or you just see it, address it with no drama? If it's not heard, it's probably because you have a hidden agenda. You want that conflict to work for you to be right or to assert more power. Or you're constantly creating conflict to assert that feminine power, perpetuate the drama, perpetuate the overprotection, I will say. And with that overprotection, then you are not able to surrender. You're not able to receive the love, the nourishing, the sweetness, the subtleness that you are so hungry for. The feminine need the energy of subtleness, of tenderness. If it's too much, you are just a wimp. You just don't move, and you get over vulnerable, and you are let everybody walk over you, and you are in the background. You don't talk anything. So understand these polarities. Check it. How do I deal with conflict? Number 2, how do I deal with receptivity? How do I receive love, attention? Do I make tantrums, or I just acknowledge that life is attentive to me at all times? How do I know that? Because it's constantly presenting you with movement, with challenges, with opportunities. You are loved, you are nourished, you are protected by life. Owning that and grasping that is against life. Let it go. It is there for you. Observe how you are attached to that and identified with the polarities of the feminine. Once you do that, honey, I can tell you that life is much easier, and your feminine will feel much more relaxed, much more tranquil, because you know that you have the perception of seeing what is not working, or what is against you or your children or your life, and that you are able to supply the proper sweetness, the proper slowness, the proper patience for life to take its shape in a way that is beyond your perfection or your definition of perfection. I thank you very much for sitting with me, and I'll see you in our next class. Namaste.